What's up? It's your girl ShaynaMonét, but you can call me Shay. Today I'm here with Teasia Renee. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am amazing, and I'm even more grateful and thankful that you're on here today with me because I want to know all about the real estate business.
Yes. And I'm so thankful that you extended the invitation for me to even come on here and tell you a little bit about it. I'm excited.
Well, thank you. So we're going to get right into these questions. What exactly is a real estate agent, or what do they do?
So a real estate agent or a realtor, I am a realtor. A real estate agent is basically a form of agency that helps you purchase, sell, lease, invest, any type of real estate. So my job is to help either you find a home, lease an apartment, sell your home, find land, educate you on the different loan programs in the process of purchasing or selling your home. So basically, I am here to just guide you through the process and work with you, whether, you're selling, buying, or leasing.
So wait a minute. You telling me that when I'm looking for an apartment, I can reach out?
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of real estate agents and realtors that specialize in leasing. You can, some places with apartments or condos, townhouses, even timeshares. Like we can help with all of that. Just depending on your market. Like me personally, I live in Central Texas. I am in Killeen, Texas, Fort Hood, where it is a very transitional place. So that means there's a lot of people coming in and a lot of people going out due to it being a military city. So they do a lot of rentals, but the thing is there's so many property management companies that actually do the rentals themselves. So in Killeen market, Fort Hood market, realtors don't really help that much with rentals because there's so many property management companies that host the home, but I can still at least help you find which company would be best, locating the property, still do showings for you. A lot of people like, how do you get paid if you're doing rentals? A lot of the property management companies or the people that's leasing the property will offer the agent like a finder's fee or whatnot. But generally in the clean market, I don't really get paid from helping with rentals, but I still do a lot of rentals because renters turn into buyers one day. So if I can help you find your rental, then I can definitely help you find your home in the future. So with the Austin market, which I also work in, you can do a lot of leasing out there where you can make some coins from leasing in the Austin market just because it's a more metropolitan city. So you have a lot more condos, you have a lot more apartments and stuff like that. So yes, you can make money doing leasing as well. I primarily work with buyers. I don't do much with rentals and leasing, but I am willing to help any client that comes to me looking for a home to rent.
That is so dope. So if you are in the Fort Hood, or so people in Austin can reach out to you.
Let me tell you, the way it is set up, each realtor or each agent, they're associated to a board. I am associated to 2 boards. So my 2 boards alone can take me from some of Waco, not all, some of Waco, all the way down to some of San Antonio. So that's a big section of Texas right there. So Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Hood, Coppers Cove, Florence, Lampasas, everything, Pflugerville, Round Rock, Austin, everything in between is something that I can assist with.
Wow, that is amazing. I didn't even know that you did all of that.
Girl, everything. Look, get me out there in Dallas too. Shoot, I'm trying to come.
Please.
The whole state of Texas. The whole state of Texas.
Exactly. And let me know when you are, because I'm definitely hitting you up.
There we go.
What got you interested in real estate?
So there's a little story with that. When I was growing up, I watched my mom. She is an entrepreneur. Like, I've never seen a more hardworking woman to this day. She still owns her own businesses. My mom started with real estate when I was about 10, 9 or 10. So I watched her go through that process, and I've always had a fascination with homes. I would literally drive by streets in Virginia Beach, and you would go down some colonial street where they have all these beautiful colonial houses, and the doors would be wide open, the windows would be wide open with the lights on, and you could see everything inside the house. And I was just like, I just want to see inside the houses. Like, Mom, can we go drive by and just drive by the houses, just see inside them? And I was always fascinated with interior design. I was a 10-year-old watching HGTV. But my path took me into the military. And when I was in the military, they told me, Cooper, you got way too much personnel to be in this military. What are you doing, girl? You need to be selling some real estate, doing something customer service or hospitality. So when I got out, I did that. I went into the hospitality field. Hospitality management is my major. So I worked in bars, I worked in restaurants, I worked at a vineyard, did a lot of party planning, event hosting, and all that good stuff. But I just did not feel that I was selling myself. I felt like I had more to offer. So I was like, you know what? If I'm so good at selling everything around me, I'm pretty sure I'd be great at selling real estate. It was always in the back of my head, but I was like, oh, I'm not ready to take that jump yet. I'm not, because you're an independent contractor. You are self-employed. So there is not a guaranteed check anymore. So I was always afraid to make that jump. And then finally I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. Took my classes. I waited a year after taking my classes to take my exam, took my exam, and I passed it. And I've been in real estate ever since, full time. I have not worked a regular salary job since 2019. Well, January 2019.
That is amazing. That's
Yeah, girl. You know.
That's inspired me. One, it told me to get out there and do it, because
Do.
you'll be surprised what you do when you just get out there, you know?
You have to make the jump. And what my mentor tells me, in order to see growth, you have to get out of that comfortable zone. You have to make yourself uncomfortable to see the growth that you want. And it may seem like all the doors are closing around you, and it may seem like the walls are getting closer, but once you find a way to break through that, it's gold.
Right. So for the people who are interested in getting into real estate, how did you prepare for the real estate exam?
Let me tell you. So I took my classes at my college, my local college here, CTC. I was working full-time in a hotel. I was working night audit. I was working night shift. So I took my classes during the day. Literally, I think I tell people to this day, the saving grace for me was the fact that I worked nights. So I can literally sit there and study, just read everything. I'm a big reader, so I literally read my textbooks. I didn't just like go through, highlight certain things. I read every page of my textbook. And I feel like just because I am a researcher, and if I don't understand something, I am going to find the answer myself. I really think that helped me. But I didn't take my exam until a year after. So you have to pass 6 classes. In those 6 courses, you have to pass all of them. You take an exam after each course, of course. But to get your license, you have to take a license exam. You have a national and a state. So I took the Texas state, and I took the national exam. But to prepare myself, being that I did go a year in between taking my exam and my courses, I did a exam prep course, which they offer all over the place. Every state's going to have an exam prep course. Myself, I chose Champion School of Real Estate because I read their reviews. I looked at their social media. I looked at their YouTube. I looked at everything to see what they offered. Right. And I compared them to other companies, and I felt that they gave me the widest range of how to receive this information. This is pre-COVID, so I did take this class in class. It was a 2-day class. And literally that exam prep just took all of that coursework and narrowed it down into one little book that you can literally read in a day. And I just read that course book every day until I took my exam. Every day I would literally just start from page 1 to the end. Now, a lot of people, they take like the prep exam quizzes and stuff. With me, I don't like to overthink questions. So I didn't take my exam prep exam quizzes. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't take them. I just felt like if I memorize the paragraph and I memorize the coursework, then the answers are going to be there, and I don't have to worry about a question confusing me. So when I took my exam, I was nervous. I took it on Fort Hood. I was literally sweating bullets, and I took the first part. The national was a breeze. I was like, oh, this ain't bad. And then I got to the state, and I was like, okay, now here's the hard part, because Texas is one of the hardest states to get your license in. So I've heard. But literally when I hit submit, I put my head down on the table, and I was like so nervous. And the proctor came up to me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't even want to see the result. I don't want to see it. He was like, girl, you want to see this? When he said that, I put my head up. passed everything first time go.
Wow.
But my saving grace was that exam prep course, because literally I read it and it was word for word information that was exactly on the exam. So they narrowed all of that big information from the course books, because the textbooks were thick, girl. So they narrowed them textbooks down to that one booklet, and being able to read it and it being written in terms and terminologies that is easy to interpret and understand, it was amazing.
That is great. So for the people who are, so okay, so I heard that real estate, you can get your license two ways. I'm not sure if that's the correct number. What are the ways that you can get your real estate license?
So to do real estate, you don't necessarily have to be a real estate agent. You can be an investor without being licensed. You can purchase and, help other people purchase homes in a way, without being licensed. You can do wholesaling. There's different routes that you can take to do real estate. But to get access to the TREC forms, which are Texas Real Estate, the commission's forms, to get realtor forms and to get contracts from the company, from the agency, you would have to be a licensed realtor. The only way that you can get licensed is to take those classes and to pass the exam and take your license exam. Now, after you take your license exam, you don't have to become a realtor, because a realtor is a separate entity than real estate agents. Real estate agents are licensed. Realtors, we abide by a different code of ethics and conducts that we have to go by. And it's kind of like a brand. You have real estate agents that aren't realtors, and then you have realtors. I'm a realtor. I have that little R behind my name because I pay my dues for that. And you get a little bit of extra confidence knowing that you're working with a realtor, because they have to apply by that code of ethics, and they have to apply by certain standards that regular real estate agents don't. So I feel like it's a little bit more quality.
For any of the new realtors, do you have any advice for them, especially as far as like them just getting out there and they're like, okay, how do I find clientele or what next?
Well, that is a journey that I am in now. I recently just switched brokerages. So I was with a brokerage where my leads and my clientele was provided for me. And now I'm with a brokerage where I am out on my own and I'm basically getting my clientele myself. Social media is huge, of course. Market yourself, brand yourself, literally letting every person know that you come into contact. Hey, I am a licensed real estate agent or a realtor, and I would love to assist you if you know anybody looking to buy or sell a home. Is literally marketing yourself and your service. Just getting your foot in the door with a good brokerage is the key, though. When you're starting off, it's going to be very intimidating because there's so many brokerages you can join, but you have to literally interview each individual broker. You're not interviewing to be with them. You're interviewing the broker. So I'm going in there asking the broker, what can you do for me?
Right.
How can you make me better? How can you grow me, myself, and my brand? How can me working with you versus working with them better me? So the key thing is to find a good mentor or to find a good brokerage that has a lot of seasoned agents that can take you under their wing, kind of, but have somebody that is hands-on and detailed. Everybody learns different, but the more you're doing, the more you're going to learn. Because literally your first year of real estate, you're learning your contracts. You're learning how to negotiate. You're learning how to speak to your clients. You're learning your terminology and what works for you. Me personally, I know that I'm great with buyers. I'm fantastic with buyers. I can help a buyer easily. I don't, I haven't really worked with listings as much because I feel like I'm more of a buyer's agent. There's nothing more satisfying than helping a first-time home buyer who didn't think they had the capabilities of purchasing a home, getting into the closing table and giving them their keys.
Right.
Yeah, of course, helping somebody sell their home is amazing, but helping first-time home buyers is like really like, that's what gets my gears going. So first-time agents, new into it, literally do your research. Look at your market. My mom told me, excuse me, go outside and drive your neighborhood. And whose signs do you see in your neighborhood? And when you're driving around, like, okay, you're seeing this Keller Williams sign, you're seeing a Coldwell Banker sign, you're seeing a local agent sign. Take note of who you're seeing, because that's letting you know who's got business.
Exactly.
Literally, don't go with the first brokerage. Don't go with the first brokerage you interview. Interview multiple. That is the mistake I made. I made it.
Mm.
I did not interview with brokerages. I literally was working property management, and I just signed on as an agent with them. That's it. I never interviewed with another brokerage until I switched, and I didn't know what was out there and what could be afforded to me and what I could do. So literally do your research in your market area. Find out who the big dogs are, but find out who the small ones are too. If you feel like you do great in a team setting, join a team.
Mm.
But if you want to do more individual work where you want your name out there, join a boutique brokerage or join a Keller Williams or join a big farm like that. But just do what's right for your path. Everybody's path is going to be different. No real estate agent has the same path. I promise you that.
Wow. Speaking of markets, I always hear
Mm-hmm.
I always hear, oh, the market is good, the market is bad. I want to know, what is your opinion on that, and is the market good, bad, and how is it as
So it's kind of a weighted question.
mm,
So I can speak about my market. I am in the Central Texas market, of course, and right now nationally, we are seeing historically low interest rates. Interest rates are going to be the main thing that affects your price of your home, unless you're buying cash. If you're paying cash, then you're not worried about interest rate, honey. But if you're financing, that interest rate is going to be a big deal. Right now, we're seeing interest rates below 3.5 and below. So I've seen a 2.9 the other day. It literally sometimes, like, okay, if you go back to 2008 when the market crashed, you were seeing interest rates in the sevens and above. For us to be below 4, historical low. We are still in a seller's market though, so that means there are way more buyers out there looking to purchase a home than there are homes on the market.
mm,
So if you're selling, the market is ready for you. It is booming. You can get top dollar for your house right now. You're going to get all your money you want because there's going to be at least 3 or 4 offers on that home off the top. Now, as a buyer right now, it's a little tough,
mm,
especially if you're looking for a certain home, pre-existing home. If you're looking new construction, you're good. There's a lot of incentives out there to help you. But right now, as far as pre-existing, there's not just a lot of homes on the market. So you are having to take a little bit more time with your buyers. Right now, my average time with my buyers is about maybe 30 to 60 days to find a home. And compared to when it was literally in December, it took me less than 15 days to find a home.
right.
So it really just fluctuates. Price wise in Texas, I'm from Virginia, where the price of living is a lot steeper. And down here, you can definitely find an absolutely amazing home for less than $300,000.
Mm,
Less than.
wow.
Um, my average price for homes that I'm dealing with is about 250, and those are 4-bedroom homes over 1,900 square feet.
Mm,
So it just really just depends on what you're looking for and how your market is doing locally, because right now Austin is the #1 rated place to move in the United States. So we are booming. We have a big tech industry coming. We have Amazon, Google, all these huge corporations that's in the Austin area, which is bringing so many buyers, which is also encouraging sellers to sell right now to upgrade their home.
mhm.
So Austin's booming. It's ridiculous. Like, houses are staying on the market for less than 10 days and going under contract like that. So it just really depends on where you are located. But that's why you have a local expert realtor or a real estate agent that can inform you. And a good realtor is going to have a lot of people in their network they can refer you to, like myself. So no
Mhm.
matter where you are in the United States, I'm pretty sure I could find a realtor that's in my network that you can work with and I can refer you to. So if you got questions market specific, we can get you in touch with the right person.
Okay. So since we're talking about getting in touch with the right person, um, I see, especially a lot of people my age, going on apps. They're just looking at homes and things like that. Can you explain why they should get a realtor?
Let me tell you, girl. So Zillow can be your best friend and your worst enemy.
Mm,
Okay. I get a lot of people come contact me from Zillow, and I absolutely am appreciative of Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, all of those amazing websites. But the only one thing that is going to be updated in real time is the MLS. the multiple listing service. That is only a service that is afforded to licensed realtors and real estate agents. A regular civilian does not have access to the MLS. So if you want real-time updates, that house you love, oh yeah, you might love it, but guess what? It may be under contract as well. Zillow won't tell you that. Zillow wants you to see that house. Zillow wants you to click that more information tab to get you into the system. They don't automatically update. The actual realtor has to go into Zillow and update. Hey, this has changed. Hey, this is under contract. So a lot of the time clients will call me like, hey, I'm interested in this property, 123 Main Street. Then I'll be like, okay, great. Let's see if we can schedule a showing, or let me do a little bit more information digging on it. I'll pull it up on the MLS and it'll say under contract.
Wow.
If it's under contract, that's not a problem. You can still submit an offer, and sometimes you can still view it because contracts fall through. But usually that's kind of a discouraging thing to say, like, oh yeah, I know you were in love with this house and you had your heart set on it, but it's under contract already. So though that's why it could be your worst enemy. It can be your best friend because it does give you an idea of what's out there, and it will connect you with the agent. But a lot of the times people are trying to contact, if you're a buyer and you're looking at a listing, they're going to send you to that listing agent most likely. That listing agent has a contract with that seller to sell their house. If their fiduciary duty is to work for the seller, and here you come, Mr. Buyer, do you think that listing agent is really going to work as hard for you as a buyer agent would?
Right.
So it can be your best friend and worst enemy. I encourage people to look on the apps, because if you like myself, if I'm looking for a house, I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning looking at houses. Like, I want to see something, what's going on. I tell all my clients, look on Zillow, look on Trulia, send me the address. I'll dig up the information on it. I'll look to see if it's been under contract, why it fell under contract, why the people are selling. I'll do the legwork for you. Send me the address, but don't just place all your bets that that's going to be the house you're going to get.
Right.
So it can't. Now people are like, oh yeah, I got qualified on Zillow for this amount. You did a calculator. Unless you submitted all your information, like your tax forms, your pay stubs, they did a calculator for you. Yes, it says you can qualify for this month, but we wouldn't know until you actually sit with a lender. So Zillow and Trulia and all those places, they get you revved up and ready to go. But then it's like, oh, pause for a second. This is what we really got to do. So I appreciate the apps. I really do, because I even use Zillow. I use Zillow all the time. Because sometimes with Zillow, a lot of owners will place their houses on the market themselves, and they don't use a realtor, and they use Zillow for that. So a lot of for sale by owners are on Zillow. A lot of land is on Zillow. Apartments are on Zillow. So it is a good tool to use, but don't just let Zillow be your one and only stop.
So now I want to talk about renting versus buying. I've heard a lot of different things about that. I've heard that buying could actually be better than renting as far as price wise. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Girl, so we all know Rent-A-Center has been a thing for years, okay? You know that when you go buy that sofa from Rent-A-Center, you're going to pay an exorbitant amount of money with interest, and you're going to pay so much more for that sofa than what you would if you just bought it. That goes the same for houses. When you're renting, you're paying a mortgage. It's just not yours. So to build generational wealth, what we have to do is buy. Renting is going to keep making that landlord, that seller, or that leasing agent, it's going to keep making them richer while you're still paying more. Because I guarantee you, if they're paying a mortgage for that house that you're living in, they're charging you more than what the mortgage is. Because say this house that I'm in, say my mortgage is $1,000. I'm charging you $1,400 because I want to make some income off of the house. I don't want to just pay off a mortgage. I want to get something from it. That's becoming an investor. And as an investor, you want to get multiple properties under your belt, paying off those mortgages. And, that's somebody building your wealth for you.
Right.
With renting, that is all you're doing. Yes, it's great temporary. It's great. Look, I still rent. I'm not ready to buy yet. It's about knowing your financial situation. It's about knowing what you want and where you want to be. Right now I'm debating, do I want to stay in Killeen or do I want to live in Pflugerville? Like, I'm still debating that. I have my VA loan and it's always going to be there, but right now it's not the right time for me to make my move. But
Right.
trust and believe, 2021, I will be buying.
Yes, ma'am.
I will not be renting anymore. I have been paying other people's mortgage since I was 19. I will not be doing that anymore. So literally renting, if you're a transitional person, like say you're in the military, a lot of military, they move a lot. So if they feel like right now, I don't know if I'm even stay here long, I don't want to get into buying. Rent, understood. But then also have a lot of military like, hey, I know I'm gonna be here for at least 3 years. Let me buy this duplex. I'm gonna stay here in this side of the duplex and rent out the other side, get them to pay my mortgage and pay myself rent. And then when it's time for me to go, I can go buy another house at another duty station and rent both sides of this duplex out. They're becoming an investor while in the military. It
Right.
all depends on what you want to do and how you see your future going. You can rent in the military, but you can also buy and be in the military.
And see, I was going to ask you about that because when I was in the military, I heard a lot of people say that, especially while we're young, to go ahead and buy and do that. But
I encourage everybody to buy. If
wow,
you can and you have the capabilities and the finances and the stability to, then buy. It is always better to buy. In my opinion, that's my opinion. My mom invested in properties with me growing up, and I've watched how she's paid off homes, and I've watched how she's been able to have income. So it's just literally going about what do you want and what do you want in the future. Everybody should have being a homeowner on their list because we are all, everybody deserves a piece of their own land.
right.
Everybody. We all deserve it. Whether you're in the United States, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in China, everybody deserves their own piece of the chunk of the land.
Mm-hmm.
It's something to pass down. And then even if you don't plan on staying in it, a lot of people, over 70% of people don't stay in the first home they buy.
Wow.
That's another thing. If you do move, you can treat your homes just like rentals. Like, you don't have to just, oh, I can only stay in this house for a year. No, if you don't spend more than 3 years in a rental property, you can spend 3 years in that same property that you're buying and then sell it when you're ready to move again.
Wow. Yeah.
Or keep it and have somebody else pay your mortgage. But
Mm-hmm.
then you got to think, do you want to be a property manager or do you want to have a property management run that for you? It's a lot of things. It's a lot of responsibility. Now with buying, you don't have the luxury of, hey, my refrigerator broke. Can you come fix it? Or, hey, my AC's working. Can you come fix it? No. Then you have to rely on your home insurance and your home warranty and pay your own repair costs. But that's keeping your investment going. So you're wanting to do that. It can be a little bit more expensive, but a lot of people don't realize the same money you have to spend to get into that rental, that deposit, the pet deposit, the first month's rent that you have to pay, those usually equate to the same buyer expenses that you need
Wow.
to buy a home.
That's
But when you're buying a home, you need that earnest money deposit, which is usually 1% to $1,000. You have to have your option money, which is usually $100, but that can vary. And then you have to have your inspection fee, which is like $350, $375, $400. So
right.
about the same amount of money it takes to move into a house is what it takes to start your contract for your house to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, taking the fact down payments and stuff like closing costs like that come further into the loan, into the process, but literally it can be about the same price to rent as it is to buy.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it happen.
That's wow. For townhouses, because a lot of times we think about just home, like houses and big home
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Can we
Mm-hmm.
do the same thing with townhouses?
So especially with my VA loan people, I want to talk more about the VA loans because I know you are a veteran like myself, and I'm pretty sure a lot of veterans are looking for this information as well. With a VA home loan, a lot of people think, oh, it's got to be my home specifically. It just has to be my home. You can do up to 1 to 4 family homes on a VA loan. So yes, you can live. You have to occupy the home. You have to live in it. It has to be your homestead. That is number one for the VA loan. You have to live in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can live in one unit and you can rent out all 3 of the other ones. You can
Wow.
buy a duplex, live in one unit, rent out the other one. It is absolutely possible. Conventional FHA, USDA, same thing. You can do up to 1 to 4 family home, but you might have to occupy it unless you're putting that 20% down as an investor going conventional. You do need that 20% down payment to do that because they are giving more of a risk being that you aren't staying at the home. So they want to make sure that they have that asset protection with that 20% down. That's only for investors usually. Mm-hmm. But you can occupy it and rent out the rest, have them pay your mortgage. One of my clients is doing it right now. My client got a duplex. He is renting the other side of the duplex out for $1,200, and that's the excess of what his mortgage is. He does not pay his mortgage himself. Now, I told him, you're going into investing. First thing, I don't want you to get excited because you have a tenant that's paying your mortgage. Pay yourself rent. I don't care how much money you're making or how much money you got in the bank. Every month, you need to pay your rent for yourself. So that means your mortgage is being paid by the tenant, but that money that you would have to pay for that mortgage, you still put in the bank account because there's going to come a time that tenant moves out. Mm-hmm. And if you're just living month to month off of his mortgage payment that he's paying for you, what are you going to do when he's gone for maybe a month or two?
Right.
Now you got that money that you've been paying yourself this whole time to go off of, for however long time that he has to go without a tenant. You want to make sure that you're protected at all times. So the same money that you would have had to spend for rent, no matter what, is the same money you put in your bank account. You'll forget about it after time.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. That's
Do
great.
it. Invest. I encourage all my first time home buyers. Invest. Get a duplex. Like I have 3 or 4 military clients right now that I am looking for duplexes for. Get a duplex. Let your first purchase make your money. Because guess what? When you go to your next duty station, you're going to have 2 tenants versus 1. And then on that next property, you buy another duplex. Okay. Then on the next duty station, you buy another one. Now you got 4 tenants. 2 mortgages, 4 tenants. Yep. Come on now, girl. Let's make this money.
For the people who are not in Killeen or are watching this in out of the state, how can they find the right realtor?
Well, like we spoke on before, I do have a very large network of realtors that I can connect you with. But literally, you can do your research. Go on Google. Look at reviews. Zillow do offer a page where it just shows you all the local agents in your area. Go through. I will literally copy and paste every name of every agent and look up on Google, look at their Facebook, look at their social media to see how they're working. Give them a call. You don't have to go with the first agent you come into contact with. I've had people I've met one day. They was like, oh no, we're working with the agent already. Okay, not a problem. Showed them the property. 3 weeks later, oh, we fired our realtor and now we want to work with you. It happens. We work for you. We are just an agent. Like, you hire us. I work for my buyers. I work for the sellers. They could hire me and fire me at any time.
Right.
But literally do your research. Every realtor is not the same. Me, myself, I know my personality is not for everybody. I know that. But there's somebody out here who likes my crazy. And that's who I'm for. Right. And if I feel like we're not a good match or I'm not going to be able to help you the way I feel like you deserve, I can refer you to somebody that I know can. I can refer you to somebody in my brokerage or outside of my brokerage. I've referred people in St. Louis already. My sister bought a house with an agent that I referred to her from Instagram. Wow. Got her. She was working with an agent that was absolutely horrible before. She came to me. She's like, Teasia, she's not showing me properties in my price range. I don't know what to do. Literally connected her with a realtor that I knew, had her under contract within 5 days.
Wow.
It can happen. Literally just do your research. And if everybody, look, even if you don't think you know a realtor, everybody knows a realtor. Everybody knows a real estate agent. Everybody knows somebody that bought a house. If you know somebody that recently purchased a home, ask for their realtor's information. And if they're not willing to give you their realtor's information because they didn't do the work for them the way they should, then don't go with them, of course. But look at reviews, look at testimonials. You want somebody that's going to work for you and advocate for you and your wants and your needs. So you need to make sure that the realtor you do hire is doing that. And if you need any help, look, I am here to help anybody. Like, even if you're in Amsterdam, I'll help you. Right. We will find somebody, but it's literally a referral based business. So your work is going to speak for itself. So if you've been a shiesty agent, those reviews are going to say that. You can look to see how many houses they sold in a year. You can look and see their testimonials. How well do they engage with their clients? You can see that, you know, just look to see what works for you. A lot of people, they just walk into the first company they go to and they're just like, okay, cool. No,
Right.
that makes, my thing is, I feel like your realtor will make your home buying experience. So if your first realtor was absolutely horrible, you're probably not going to want to purchase a home again, like anytime soon, because the whole ordeal was just horrible. But if you find somebody that makes it happen for you, explains everything in detail, is very transparent with you and open, it'll make your home buying experience so much better. I promise it.
Yeah. And how can people find you if they want to get in contact with you?
Girl, I will plug in some information now. You can find me on Facebook. I have my business page is Teasia Renee, which is TeasiaRenee. Or you can find me on my actual personal page, which is Teasia Cooper, same first name spelling. And then literally all of my social media is just going to be Teasia Renee, at Teasia Renee, all together, no dots, no underscore. TeasiaRenee. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, everything is Teasia Renee. My DM is always open. Text messages are always open, so feel free to call me or text me at 254-833-2687, or email me at teasia@teasiarenee.com. Whichever way works for you. I do FaceTimes, I do Zooms, I do WhatsApp. We do it all. Whatever we need to do to facilitate or make it happen, I'm here for you.
And I will
As
leave
you can see,
all
the phone is going off now.
and
I'll get to y'all in a second.
right. I'll leave all the contact information down in the description box so people just click the link and go
Hey,
straight
no
there.
matter where you're at, we're here to help. And look, feel free. Just message her like, who's that crazy girl that you had on that video that time? She'll link you up with me. And even if you don't choose me to work with, my goal is to just make it so that you find somebody that can work for you the way that you deserve. That is my ultimate goal. Finding the right person to help you.
Right. And one last question that I ask all of my guests over here is, what is your color? Now, colors, I feel, express humans. And for me, my color is turquoise. It reminds me that I'm a lady and that the sky is always the limit. So I ask
Okay.
Well,
my color is definitely like a golden mustard yellow. I've always gravitated towards the color yellow, and I recently had to admit that yellow is my favorite color. I've been a purple girl for years. Purple's my favorite color, but I don't wear purple.
Right.
Purple. But everything, even when I looked at my Instagram feed, I'm like, everything is yellow and it's so bright, it's so energetic, it wakes you up, and that's my personality. I am big, bold, and in your face, and I think my aura is yellow.
Oh, I like it. Thank you so much for coming over here on my channel and giving all the knowledge that you gave. I'm so thankful for you right now because I'm definitely going to be contacting you in the future about.
Oh, thank you, girl. Look, I know I may seem like I'm all over the place, but it's literally so much information. I can talk about it all day, as you guys can see. So literally, if there's any questions you have, look, I'm here.
Definitely.
And we're going to do this more. This isn't the first time, and this isn't the last time. It's
exactly. If you got any
come.
questions, leave them down below. We definitely can do a part 2, part 3, part 4.
Girl, because I will stalk them comments.
Right.
Y'all better like, y'all better comment, y'all better share. Follow her on IG because she is out here spreading the good word. Sis is out here being a beautiful woman of color, all of her Black glory, and she is just fighting a good fight for all of us. So, make sure you guys are supporting. It's all about growing together, you guys. Exactly. Women fighting for women, just us growing together. That's all it's about.
Right. Thank you so much for coming on here, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye, loves.
Bye.